Let's see. Give it a minute for people to join. Retro rockstar. Yo, retro rockstar. Bala, hi. Jai Janaki Raman, hi bro. Hey, not bad. Some people are flowing in. Okay. So, what did I want to talk about? Well, yesterday I wanted to hit upon this Tata Capital IPO and should you subscribe to it? Well, the red herring or the reckoner has not come in our hands as yet. All we're hearing is news and the deadline is approaching as far as Tata Capital IPO is concerned. And by September or something, they'll have to do the IPO. They can't postpone it. And they're preparing for it. And the latest news which we did hear about was the NCDs which are being put into effect because they need infusion of capital. Why does Tata Capital require more capital? It's because of getting the books ready for the IPO. And that is all it seems. They already did one round of capital infusion in March. And this is a fresh rights issue which they're doing just months before, before the $2 billion IPO. So just to boost, from what I've understand, it's just to improve the balance sheet, lower the debt to equity ratio, to lower the leverages, and to make sure it's compliant. Because it is in the upper layer NBFC, and RBI is much stricter for these IPOs. So taking that into consideration, Tata and Sons is pumping cash into it. In terms of the main reason is the loan book growth is outpacing capital growth. So that's the main reason for this. And this may raise some concerns. But it's just to make sure the balance sheet is nice and healthy by the time the IPO comes out. But we do not know what the pricing of the IPO will be. So the IPO is on track. It'll come probably be in a couple of more weeks we will get to know. The entire document will be given to us. Till then, we have to wait. And without knowing that, that is very difficult to know if the price which is going to be launched is the right price. And if you look at the way the grey market is behaving with the pricing of the share, it seems really high is what we also feel. So this is the main reason we are saying we'll wait and watch and see the price band it comes at. So, will I be applying for it? Yeah, I would love to apply for it. In the case of like Tata Technologies, you guys applied and we all seem to have enjoyed that. This is another big IPO from the Tata house. After this, I don't know when the next one will come from the Tata house. So that way, yes, I would love to be participating in this. But also, of course, it only makes sense to participate in this if the price is correct. So I would wait and watch to see the prospectus on this before getting really into it. That is as far as the Tata IPO is concerned. As far as the HPD IPO is concerned, it's still going on, I think. Even today, it's open, if I'm right. Because I'm not applying for it, I've not been tracking it. But Anand said, those of you who do want to roll the dice can roll the dice. The price band is 700 and 740. The minimum investment is 14,800. And it is open for application ends at 4 p.m. today, I think. So if you want to roll the dice, sure. But I do feel there also the pricing is a little on the higher side. And you can roll the dice. If you're planning to hold on to it for the long term, sure, it is worth looking at. If you're trying to do like what my friend Arun was saying before he exited the room, before I started the video, he said, let us apply for it and sell it as soon as it's allotted. That may be a very bad strategy is what I feel, because the price might correct as soon as it's listed, because a lot of people might be dumping the stock. I don't know. These are all gambles which I don't usually do, and that's why I have really no interest in it, and I'm not tracking it, because I rather buy, value stocks at value price, and I would say that. So let me jump into your questions first. The Bunny Tarun has asked, Sir, Amaraj, good to consider at price 974, PE is 18, price to book. I would say looking at Amaraja Batteries, discounted cash flow and relative value, right now it is close to being neutral, is what I would say. So I don't know, I would wait for a correction for Amaraj. If you're keen on buying it and holding it for the long term, maybe you can look at it. But for me to enter it right now, I would wait for Amaraj Batteries, and I would not be looking at it right now. Can we consider Karthik's single HDB Financial Services IPO? Like I said, you can consider it if you want it. Like Anand said, you can roll the dice if you're really keen on rolling the dice. But I want to understand what is your motivation on rolling the dice. If you're planning to hold on to it for the long term, sure. If you're planning to hold on to it for 10, 15 years, if it's allotted to you, sure, roll the dice. If you're planning to buy it and try to get rid of it and book a profit on it, I strongly would discourage you from doing that. So I hope that answers that. Dina Dayalannan. Sorry, I'm pronouncing these names terribly. Dr. Reddy, one of the analysts foresees potential of 25 downside due to losing ground in Canada on semaglutide. Your thoughts? Yeah, but these are short term, Dina. So if you're looking at it in the short term, yes, you're right. It can be losing ground, or something can happen in Canada and may not lose the ground. So in the short term, these things happen, even in case of Natco. So what it gives you is this: if there's a correction, it gives you an opportunity to consider the stock. So if you see Dr. Reddy at a price point of consideration, and it's thanks to people reacting in Canada, the Canadian news into Indian market, then definitely I would say take the opportunity and invest, because we are looking at investing in 10-15 year horizon. In 10-15 year horizon, semaglutide and all these other drugs would have gone through their life cycle. We'll be in another place altogether in terms of where pharmaceuticals are. So new drugs will come, new pipelines will come. What you need to focus on is Dr. Reddy as a company. Is it run well? Is the management good? Is the leadership structure great? Right? The next set of leaders who are going to be coming in and running the company. And what is their future roadmap? What are they doing in terms of investment? If all that aligns with you, then you can definitely consider Dr. Reddy. These drug cycles are only cycles which give you opportunity to buy the stock, like in the case of Natco. So if you see an opportunity and you think the company is of value, then do consider it, and always consider it in tiffin coffee range. Don't immediately think of throwing the kitchen sink into it, would be my advice. What is the next question which we have, which got voted up? Krishna Kant Thirumal, IndusInd Bank unsecured loans around 7,000 crores under scanner. Can we expect IndusInd Bank to reach 650? Well, I'm not a fortune teller. If it does reach, great. It gives me more opportunity to consume some more IndusInd Bank. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you noticed, things in the market we think will react, the market should react badly. The market doesn't react badly. Things we think market will not react at all to, market suddenly seems to grow reaction to and react. This whole geopolitical theater is a great evidence of this. If you see what has been happening in the last few months, I would say, since the whole tariff thing started by Trump and now this Israel-Iran crisis we're going through, market seems to be completely desensitized to things. So pay attention to IndusInd Bank. Of course, pay attention. Read the news, try and understand the news. And based on that, if you see opportunities and you agree with what is happening with the news, invest according to that. Knowledge and based investing on that is far more important than trying to predict if there's an opportunity that will come. If IndusInd does go to 625, all things considered right now, I would say it's a great opportunity to pick up some more IndusInd. I would take that into consideration. What is the consideration limit for Natco, Sarvesh? I don't know. Right now, I would say Natco, where it is fabulous, and I am looking at Natco every day. I have not bought Natco recently because I've been my mind has been stuck in Tata Motors for some time, and considering the company is going to be split and all that put together, and I feel Tata Motors is giving me more opportunity for growth. Natco, I would say, at the current price, it's great, and where I would say it will reach a point where you shouldn't be careful on buying more of it is when it crosses 1,125, 1,200. If it reaches around that range, I would say we'll be reaching territory of Natco price where we'll have to wait and watch. Right now, where Natco is at 872. If you want to consider Natco, please consider it. It's there on my list, Natco. What else is there on your questions? Best places for buying bonds. Srinivas Dante. Best places to buy bonds are places where you know what is happening and you are confident. That means you should know the company you're buying from. You should know the broker very well. You should trust the broker. You should be able to have an easy relationship with your broker and be able to pick up the phone and call them or even go and see them if you need to see them. Because when it comes to bonds, Mr. Srinivas, you're investing quite a large sum of money. It is not some tiffin coffee money. It is, holiday going, buying car, house money. So be very careful when you're investing. Do complete research on the person or the organization before you buy the bond. That is very, very important. So that will be my advice. Don't go by recommendation of some influencer or some crackpot like me sitting on Instagram saying this is the place you should go buy the bond. You should not. Please do research. Even if it is me, do the research. Please double check, verify, because money is very hard earned and I really don't want you to lose it in some flim flam you heard on Instagram or YouTube or some friend told you. Don't base your investment strategies on that. So do your research would be my most strongest advice for you. Selvam Induja, PG InvIT, buy, hold, sell. You guys, we always go back to PG InvIT every time, and I understand PG InvIT. What is there in PG InvIT which is so confusing? I can't understand. Maybe it is because most of the people asking this question on PG InvIT are people who are just starting to invest, I guess. Because in PG InvIT, it is a very easy to understand business. So what affects them is the rate cycle. Recently I think the stock prices of PG InvIT has gone up. Let me check if it's moved. PG InvIT. Because borrowing has become easy for them. So yeah, the stock price has recently moved. From the low 80s, it's gone up by almost 12%. Yeah, so I understand why you guys are interested in PG InvIT. PG InvIT in the long term will be range bound between 110 to 80. It'll be fluctuating in that. So the main reason why we consider PG InvIT is because of the dividend it pays out. There will not be much appreciation in terms of capital in PG InvIT. What you will get in PG InvIT is regular dividend, like a bond or like an FT. So if you're looking at it in that terms, yeah, you can consider PG InvIT. And other than that, it really doesn't make sense. You can look at PG InvIT as some way of consolidating to buying a bond. You can use any vehicle. So you can buy PG InvIT, and once it reaches around 1 lakh worth of PG InvIT, you can sell it and then buy a bond if you want to do that. I wouldn't suggest that strategy, but you can look at it if you want. There are people who buy PG InvIT just for the sake of, it's like, a steady income which I need. So for that reason, they buy it. So that I need to understand why you're interested in PG InvIT, other than that, what you just said, buy, hold, or sell. So it's purely up to you. Dr. Reddy, I've already spoken about. HDB IPO, I spoke about. Suggest the best gold ETF to start investing. I buy Nippon Gold Bs. So if you want to know what I buy Nippon Gold Bees. What you have to look at is the tracking error, as they say, when it comes to gold bees. And if you pay attention to that, you can decide which one you want. Do I check tracking error? Personally, I don't, because I don't look at Nippon Gold Bees or Tata Gold as an investment. I look at it as something to just fortify and keep my portfolio strong. And I keep around 10 to 15% is what I would say to keep in gold if you're looking at a horizon of 10-15 years. If you have shorter horizons, maybe you should have more gold. If you have longer horizons, then maybe less gold. Of course, this is all on personal choice and where you are and what your goals are. So it is very hard to say the amount of exact gold you should have. Don't get confused this with what Anand is saying, which is a 200-gram gold. That is security. Like I've said many times, don't get the both of them mixed up. Having some gold in your portfolio is a must, and what Anand says is a must, and those are two different things. Anand is talking about actually physical gold, having around 200 grams. That is a security in case something very terrible happens in life. You have that gold to restart your life. So that is something all of us should have. Some plan B as a backup, and that 200 grams of gold will give you that backup, in case something happens. And today the world is so volatile. Not only what we're doing to ourselves, then what we've done to the planet and climate change and all that put together. So things can go sideways very fast. So having a bit of gold to restart if you need to is a great thing to have. It's like an insurance. So that is what Anand talking about. What I'm saying is having around a hedge in your portfolio, which is around 5 to 10% in gold. So I hope that clarifies what gold, and I buy Nippon Gold Bees. Satish is saying waste and water management stock Patti Pesunga, like Vatek, InvIT Infra. Correct, நல்ல கேள்விதான் சதீஷ். ஆனால் நான் ஃபுல்லாக டைவர்ட் இல்லை. ஒரு வாட்டி வாட்டெக் பாக நான் இன்வெஸ்டிகேட் பண்ணேன். அப்போ இன்வெஸ்டிகேட் பண்ணும்போது ஐ ஹேட் லாட் ஆஃப் இஷ்யூஸ் வித் த கம்பெனி த வே இட்ஸ் பீயிங் ரன். ஸோ that was the reason why I did not look at that company. Considering now where it is, let me just check where the company is sitting. In terms of share price, hang on. Suddenly my internet is giving me an issue over here. Share price, let's see. Have Right, there we go. Share price, where is it currently trading at? It's trading at 1,494. I don't know, that's very expensive for me. Wabag, I would say around 900 would be more towards the correct price, and it was probably, I would say, at buying range, looking at the price chart for the last 2-3 years, I would say maybe around 2022 it was in buying range la irundhadukku. Ana appiye na consider பண்ணல, ஏன்னா அவங்களோட corporate governance பத்தி எனக்கு நிறைய கேள்விங்க இருக்கு. They got into a lot of controversy also, Vatek Baba. So அதனால தான் நான் கம்பெனியை தொடலை. ஸோ உங்களுக்கு அதை பற்றி ஏதாவது இன்னும் தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள் சதீஷ், அண்ட் I'll definitely look at it. InvIT Infra வந்து நான் பார்த்ததே கிடையாது. அது என்ன கம்பெனி கூட தெரியாது எனக்கு. ஆர் ஓனர் InvIT Infra லிஸ்ட்லேயே வர மாட்டேங்குது. Anyway, I'll look into that company and let you know, Satish. If there's anything great, I'll definitely come back and tell you guys about it. Can we accumulate TT Prestige now? TT Prestige வந்து முன்னாடி கொஞ்சம் விலை ஜாஸ்தியாக இருந்தது, அப்புறம் விலை கரெக்ட் ஆச்சு. அப்போ நான் பார்த்துருந்தேன், அப்போ நான் வீடியோலையும் சொன்னேன் TTK Prestige பார்க்கலான்னு. இப்போ கரண்ட் ப்ரைஸ் எங்கே இருக்குதுன்னு பார்க்கணும், இருங்க. திடீர்னு நெட்டு ரொம்ப ஸ்லோ ஆயிடுச்சுங்க. TTK Prestige, there we go. Where is it trading at? TTK Prestige 622 இருக்கு. நான் பார்க்கும்போது it was near much lower. when I was looking at it. Now on the 500 range la paathirunden, which was some time back. 600, just around 600, below 600 I was looking at it. I feel now it's expensive, TTK Prestige. Or it's reaching about being expensive. Because PE ratio on the 75. So, கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு தான் வாங்கணும் TTK Prestige if you want to accumulate. But you can buy it for the long term if you're looking at it long term. If HDB is allotted by luck, shall I sell after listing? Tamarasan Mohan. நீங்கள் TTK, I mean உங்களுக்கு வந்து HDB வந்து உங்களுக்கு அலாட் ஆச்சுன்னா by luck, by fortune, please hold on to it. விற்காதீங்க அவசரப்பட்டு, பிடிச்சி வச்சுக்கோங்க, சரிங்களா? அதுக்காக வாங்க, ஐபிஓ போடுங்க. ஐபிஓ வந்து லாட்ரி மாரி வாங்காதீங்க. பணத்தை தூக்கி ஐபிஓவில் போட்டு லிஸ்ட்டாக அடுத்த நாளைக்கு நான் விற்றுட்டு ஐ வில் மேக் ப்ராஃபிட்னு யோசிக்காதீங்க. Why is ITC not moving upside? Devapriyan கேட்குறாரு. It will move. ITC will take time to grow. Believe it or not, ITC வந்து 200க்குலாம் இருந்திருக்கு. Very recently also. Very recently, now I'm talking about a few years ago. So ITC has moved, but ITC always moves slowly. It is a stock வந்து grows very slowly. That is why it's called defensive. It is safe. Market என்ன volatility இருந்தாலும், it is not a fancy or a sexy stock as they say. It is a stock which you can buy, hold for a very long time. So ITC நீங்கள் அப்படி கன்சிடர் பண்ணலாம். தேவப்பிரியன். ராணி கற்பையா கேட்குறார், சார் ஷேக் வினோ ட்ரேடர்ஸ் சார் எப்படி இருக்காங்க? we miss them. I also miss them. They're doing well. They do events வரும்போது மதுரை கோயம்புத்தூர் இவெண்ட்டெல்லாம் ஷேக் ட்ரேடர் வினோத்லாம் இருந்தாங்க. I was there with them. So if you want to meet ஷேக் வினோத் event செய்யும்போது டெஃபினட்டாக வாங்க, அட்டென்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். அங்கே வந்து ஷேக் வினோத் டெஃபினட்டாக you can catch them and talk to them. வீடியோவில் வந்து they become very busy and also some regulations we have to follow. So another, we don't have them sitting on the video anymore. KVS Saravanan, high price, even price is high compared to book value. Would you recommend some stock? How do we arrive to that conclusion? Okay, price and book value I'd only compare for finance stock. Finance stock la vandu I would consider anything price to book below 1 or below very attractive. If it's above price to book 1, if it's a finance company, then I will have to find out why it is above 1 and is it justified. Like something like HDFC Bank is many times above price to book. So it's become very expensive. If you look at all the banks நான் கன்சிடர் பண்ண பேங்க்ஸ்லாம் நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, எங்கள் அண்ணன் சொல்ல பேங்க்ஸ் தான் கன்சிடர் பண்ணதெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, எல்லாம் ப்ரைஸ் டு புக் வந்து 1 இல்லாட்டா 1 பக்கத்தில் இருக்குது. ஏன் நாங்கள் வந்து IndusInd பற்றி பயங்கரமாக பேசினோன்னா, IndusIndோட ப்ரைஸ் டு புக் வந்து இட்ஸ் a big bank. It's not a small bank. It is not like a small region bank. It is a national wide big portfolio bank with big promoters. So அவங்க இது புக் வேல்யூ வந்து 800 இருக்கும்போது it came below 800. So it is like buying one of us, buying a small bank at a price, buying a big bank at the price of a small bank. So அப்பதான் நாங்கள் நிறைய கன்சிடர் பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொன்னோம். Especially looking at the promoters, Hinduja promoters, they themselves are supporting the bank. We said yes, Hinduja மேல நிறைய கேள்விங்க இருக்கு. ஆனா it is still oversight by RBI is there. It is not like Ashok Leyland. So அதெல்லாம் கன்சிடர் பண்ண பார்க்கும்போது it is a great opportunityன்னு சொன்னோம். So price to book வந்து எப்பயும் வந்து consider it with only for finance. If it is non-finance company, don't focus on price to book. Price to book அப்போ அங்கே என்ன சொல்லணும்னா, it will show you investor confidence. PE வந்து நல்லா இருக்கு, ஆனால் இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ் how they feel about this company. நீங்கள் price to book பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, price to book ஹையாக இருந்ததுன்னா, investors are really showing a lot of confidence in this company. They're willing to pay. You can use that way of interpreting. ஆனால் these numbers really don't mean anything other than giving you some kind of direction. But what finally you have to do is you have to do the homework of studying, like Anand says, promoter, business, what are they doing, அது வந்து லாங் டேர்ம் வயபிளா இல்லையா, அதெல்லாம் பார்த்து அனலைஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு அப்புறம் நீங்கள் அந்த ப்ரைஸை பார்த்து யூ ஷுட் கம் டு அ கன்க்ளூஷன். ஸோ கீப் தட் இன் மைண்ட். ஹிஸ்ட்ரி இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட். ஓகே, அண்ட் தேஜஸ் நெட்வொர்க் ஸ்பந்தனா ப்ரைஸ் ரேஞ்ச் போன வீடியோ நான் பேசினேன். இந்த வீடியோவில் ஸ்பந்தனா வந்து ஒரு மைக்ரோ ஃபைனான்ஸ் கம்பெனி, அந்த செக்டரே வந்து இப்போ அடியில் இருக்குது. ஸோ இட் வில் டேக் டைம். த கம்பெனி பிஹைண்ட் Spandana is a great company, like promoters. So Angyo Vande, it will go like this, like a roller coaster. It will take time. If you're willing to gamble, it may take 5 years or more to see some great returns in Spandana. But there's always risk. And because of that risk, you'll have to wait and watch. Like ஆனந்த் போய் சொல்வார், ஒரு 10 கம்பெனி வாங்கினா அந்த ஒரு 10 கம்பெனியில் 5 கம்பெனி பெருசாக வந்துடுத்துனா you should be consider yourself a winner. Not every company நீங்கள் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணது வந்து will become a super company. So keep that in mind. அந்த மைண்டில் வச்சுட்டு, knowing that risk is involved, you can consider Spandana if you wish to for a long term in Tiffin Coffee range. The same thing applies for Tejas Network. Tejas Network வந்து promoters வந்து now they become Tatas. Tatas pretty much own that company. Tata guy from another company is heading this company. So, and Tata also requires the technology, this 5G technology which Tejas is making, they require it. Of course, Tejas Network on there is immense competition pressure. The Chinese are there, the Europeans are there. They are also doing this kind of communication, 5G technology. So there is a lot of pressure from outside. But this is an Indian company. So I would say it is a strategic move by the Tatas. And I'm trying to join the party. Will it be a success? I don't know. I have faith it will be. But I'm willing to take a gamble. At this price point, I think it's great to acquire in Tiffin Coffee range for the long term. But it might take, like I said with Spandana, 5 years, 6 years for this to get clarity and might get even finally become merged with some Tata company also. I don't know where this will go. But we'll have to wait and watch. When will I worry about Tejas Network? Is when Tata themselves are diluting their position in Tejas Network. Then I'll say, okay, maybe there is a reason for me also to look elsewhere. I'll keep it on my radar. So I hope that gave you some clarity on Tejas Network. What is your view on Stovekraft? Debt to equity ratio is 7.4. Stovekraft is a good company. The price where it is at, I'll have to see. Let me see. Stovekraft. Stovekraft. It's at 581. I would say it's pretty attractive, Stovekraft, if you want to look at it. Purely just looking at the price right now, I would say it is attractive. You talked about debt to equity kitting. Adiyum paathalame. Stovekraft debt to equity. Last year they've missed. Their earnings have not been great. So that is why it is sitting where it is sitting, the price. Net marginum பயங்கரமா இறங்கி இருக்கு. I don't know. In terms of purely on pricing, I would say you can look at it, but I'll have to really look into the financials, and I have not seen it for some time. If you want, I'll look at Stovekraft and come back to you about Stovekraft. That is something I can do. What are the questions? Hero MotoCorp share issue. Why is it falling now? That is because they are finding a lot of pressure from Honda in the market. And like Anand said, Hero needs to buck up on his product line. They've really not done anything fabulous in terms of their product. So it is going through a process of changing and it's growing. It is a long hold. If you're willing to invest in Hero, in the long term, you can look at it. But it's going to be more pain for Hero in the short term. It will take a couple of years for Hero to get its act together. Recent news where the owner walked into the meeting, town hall, and he blasted all the head or management of Hero MotoCorp, and a lot of them quit and resigned and moved out also. So the company is going through a change. We'll have to wait and see. But I do believe it's a great company. When you see an opportunity, you can consider a Tiffin Coffee range if it is in your budget, because it is very, very expensive. It is not in everybody's Tiffin Coffee range at all. So That is as far as Hero Motors is concerned. Anything went wrong with Bajaj Housing Finance? It's PEB book value. I don't know what happened in Bajaj. Price to book 5 to 8 times now. It's expensive, man, for a finance company. Because for a finance company, நம்ம price to book பார்க்குறோம்னா finance company is complete value is its book value. All the loans it has, and that is where the money comes in for a finance company. So we dive and study into that. So multiples of that, if it's more than one, like I said, it is good. So I don't know. If there's some news about Bajaj Finance, I'll have to see. Because I don't know, have any Bajaj Finance in my book. What about Reliance Power shares? I bought it. I don't like Reliance Power. So it's your choice. I leave it up to you. If you want to hold on to it, you can hold on to it. I do not know the problem with Reliance. I've said many times. The industry may be good, whatever they're participating may be good, but the problem is the management. And I do feel at the price where it is, it is overvalued. But that's my personal view. அதனால் எனக்கு தெரியாது. நான் வந்து ரிலையன்ஸ் பவர் வாங்கினா வாங்கவே மாட்டேன். சீப்பாக இருந்தாலும் ஈவன் 30 ரூபாய் கச்சா கூட நான் வாங்க மாட்டேன். ஸோ அது Tata Motors பற்றி கேட்டிருந்தீங்க. Tata Motors is probably what I'll be buying today. Pandyan 444 Raj. Yes, I also missed Dana. He's supposed to come to office today. I've asked him to come in. If he comes in, I'll go live with Dana and show you guys Dana and let Dana have a conversation with you guys and say what he's up to and what he's doing. If he's ready to talk to you guys, that is. He is planning Dana something. He said he's planning something on YouTube space and he's also studying. And I haven't spoken to him for some time. So once he comes, Dana Vartam, I'll have a conversation, and if he wants to come and talk to you guys, I'll put him on. What else? Is there anything else which you guys have asked? Tata Motors is what I'll probably be buying today for myself in Tiffin Coffee range. Anything else? Anything else? Ratna Kumar. Sir, I'm a beginner. I bought stock market. I purchased 20 South Indian banks, 2 ITC, 2 Gold Bees, 1 IDC. Next SIP is Tata Motors shares to. Thank you, Anand sir. Well, good job, Ratna Kumar. You're doing great. You may konjama invest panna best. Manappuram. KS Prakash Raj is asking, is Manappuram can you consider it's at 270? Yeah, you can consider at Manappuram at 270 if you're looking at it long term. If you're not looking at it in the long term, then do not buy it. And of course, again, buy in Tiffin Coffee range. Don't try to hoard it. And if you have had buying Manappuram is like buying gold. Your entire portfolio cannot just be Manappuram and Muthoot and gold. So keep diversifying, keep spreading. Karthikeyan. If dollar value goes negative in India, our index will also go negative. இதுமாரி அதெல்லாம் ஒரு டைம் இல்லாமல் யோசிக்கிறீங்க. இதுமாரி டாலர்லாம் நெகட்டிவாக போகிறது ஐ டோன்ட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். என்ன கேட்குறீங்க? டாலர் வேல்யூ நெகட்டிவாக போகுமா அப்படின்னு என்ன சொல்கிறீங்க? I don't know. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about Shell. Shell has come into the news in recently. Rumors that they're trying to buy BP, British Petroleum. So I thought I'll talk about Shell. Is Shell a great company to invest in or not? Barring the news. Of course, Shell CEOs come out saying, rumors, we're not trying to buy BP. So I thought I'll do that video on Be Rich. So the Be Rich, wait and watch. And definitely you guys can enjoy that. And what other questions are there? Today, US final GDP releasing, sir. Could you please explain why Anand sir is expecting recession in the US this year? If Trump says no, tariff is still there, possibly. These things, recession, nobody can predict. Gentleman Arvind, we talk about recession always looking back. Meaning, we can be going through a recession right now, but we can't identify it. We only realize it was a recession when we look back at it and really look at the numbers. So we could be having a lot of pain right now, and that's why the market reacting the way it's reacting. It's really weird because there's very little growth, right? Inflation is high, and it just doesn't make sense to the point. Even the Fed was thinking about US being close to stagflation. So I don't know how the market is not reacting to all the news. Aside from all the macro news in terms of bad economic news, tariff and all that, this whole Israel-Iran situation should have given a wake-up call to the market. Even that did not give a wake-up call. So what's been happening to the stock market is constantly saying boo, 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 scaring someone going boo, boo. They become desensitized. So next time when you go boo, they don't get scared anymore. So I do feel stock market is in that situation. So what will create panic in the stock market could be something totally inconsequential finally. It's happened in the history, in the past, where some nonsense news, suddenly the stock market reacts very violently to it and everybody starts selling and it goes into a cascade. So maybe that may happen this time, but we'll have to wait and watch. But once the numbers do come out, I'll definitely ask Anand his opinion on this. Can we someone shadow kill? Grey market is not good. Yes, I agree. Grey market is not a great place to invest. Even I am Ranjit's. I lost 7K in Kalyan and have 45 shares. What to do now? It's tough to answer, Kalyan, Ranjit's. If you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. But I don't know where you are, what your plans are. So I would say get in touch with me, and I need to understand a lot more before I can tell you. But if you want to get rid of it, get rid of it and invest it somewhere else. Anand did say, Anand mentioned IPO as a lottery means it's worth considering for IPO listing gain only or long term. Long term. Anand always talks about long term. Anand never talks about short term. Anand mentioned lottery means what, so Anand answered. Chalo. So anyway, I've answered some of your questions today. I did want to talk about Tata Capital. So they're infusing it, they're strengthening the balance sheet, like I said in the beginning of the video. So all the most Tatas are making towards Tata Capital, is getting it ready for the IPO. So IPO, the deadline is set as September. So before September itself, it will happen. Keep an eye out for it. Other prospectus, red herring solvanga. The red herring kaila varumbodhu definitely Nana Albert and Nana purchased. I'll come and do an explainer on that. If you should be applying for that IPO or wait and watch because it all depends on the price. The company is going to be good, that's no problem. The business will be good, no problem. But it's the price which they're asking us to pay for it. Is that good? It's a big question mark. Till they tell us that, we'll have to wait and watch. That would be my take on this. As far as HDB is concerned, it's a roll of the dice. If you do want to roll the dice, make sure you decide to hold the stock and not get rid of the stock as soon as you get it. If that is the motivation, please do not do IPOs, would be my thing. I think I've covered pretty much everything. Like I said, today I'm planning also to go buy some Tata Motors once I'm done with this video. Then I have to go record my Be Rich video, which is going to be all about Shell and the petrochemical industry, and should you be investing in a company like Shell if you're sitting outside India. I hope that gave you a lot of clarity and everything. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'll try and talk about something interesting again tomorrow. In the video, on the YouTube, Insta Reels, so you guys can see it there. For those of you who just walked in right now, of course, it'll be saved on Instagram if you want to watch it on Instagram. I'll also throw it up over there. So those of you who want to watch it in your leisure can watch it in your leisure. Maybe I should try and do this every day in the morning than in the evening because it's easier. And as the markets are open, we can talk about stocks and shares and what I'm planning to do also for the day. I mean, I'll figure it out as it goes. Hope you have a wonderful day. And like I said, don't waste more than 5 minutes investing. Invest, then move on. Go enjoy your day. Those of you are in the Tiffin Coffee Fitness Challenge, I hope you're doing your workouts. I hope you're tracking your nutrients. There is what you should be tracking, not in your stock portfolio. There, if you have this tendency of tracking something on the time, எல்லாமே கான்ஸ்டன்ட்டாக உங்கள் போர்ட்ஃபோலியோ ரிஃப்ரெஷ் பண்ணிகிட்டே பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க, ஸ்டாக் ப்ரைஸ் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னா, மூவ் தட் எனர்ஜி டு tracking your food calorie intake. There you can do trading or future and options. You can do future and options in your diet. Track your calories, track your meals, be constantly vigilant of what you're putting in your mouth. Don't fixate on your workout. There it's the other way around. Fixate on what you put in your mouth and don't worry about your exercise. Exercise, try and be as intense as you can keep it for half an hour, 45 minutes. Do 10,000 steps and we'll keep at it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained nutritionist. Or if you need one of those, please find one. This is something just to motivate you guys, like how I'm motivating myself. Anyway, be safe out there. See you tomorrow. Bye.